Shall we have a quick listen to these ATCs? Alright, I'm excited. Customers, oh by the way, Tom's going to come around your house and set it up every time.
Get the device found thing.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Really good developing machines.
Okay guys, so Tom from Tantrum Audio is very kind enough to pop round the studio. I had a bit of a fault with the sub. He came round to calibrate this sub you can see. It's the Tantrum Audio really mean sub. It's a dual opposing 6.5 inch driver, about 400 watt Class D amplifier. It's a great value proposition for anyone needing some bass extension. Anyways, long story short, as you could probably tell, my Amphions and my Adams are probably no longer with us. I've decided to make the move and jump across while it's still early doors. I didn't want to get too comfortable with what I was currently using because I really needed to upgrade at some point. What I decided to do after much deliberation is go along to KMR Audio and purchase the ATC SCM25As. They're steadily becoming an industry standard if they're not already. Most people tend to love these speakers that buy them. Some people find them bass light, but that wasn't the case for me. I A-B'd them with the PMC 6.2s, and they were another amazing speaker, but the ATCs just felt better to me in the sense that I think they suit my style. You can do all genres on both these sets of speakers, but I would say that the PMCs seem to be more synonymous with dance DJs. Don't know why. I'm guessing it's because on the 25As people suggest that there's not enough bottom end, but I can tell you now, I heard them both. There's plenty enough bottom end for most genres. You probably want to add a sub for, you know, heavy dance music for sure. But these are an all-round, very critical, very neutral. I actually think they sound pretty speaker, and I can see why people, you know, revere them. The PMCs to my ears felt a little bit more like Genelecs. They're a little bit more fidelity, hi-fi-y, but the PMCs have got a great mid-focus that I really liked. And I just found them to be just very grounded and neutral sounding, but just natural. And I guess that's stands to reason since they're all handmade, and you know, PMCs tend to be more DSP based. Not to say that that doesn't work, because it can actually work really well. Anyways, the Amphions I'm getting rid of, as with the Adams. It's not that either of those speakers aren't very good or anything, they just don't quite fit with me. I'd maintain that anyone looking to buy the Adam AAHs, go for it. They're a really great speaker at the price point. I just wanted to get to the next tier. I thought the Amphions would do it. For me, they sound great, super fast speakers, but I bought the 215s because I had a bit of a bargain, and I took a punt. For my ears, they're just a little bit too boxy, as I'll explain, but yeah, we move on. Anyways, I'm going to do an unboxing of the ATCs, and let's see what we get up to in the next part of the video. I'm very excited about this. So, decided to upgrade the studio speakers. I've tried out a few studio speakers in the last couple of weeks, and made some good choices, but they haven't quite sat with me correctly. Just want to say that my Adam A8Hs are absolutely brilliant. If you're thinking about buying them and your budget's around $2 to $2.5 grand, it's definitely got to be on the top of the list. The Neumanns are probably a little bit more expensive. You're probably paying closer to $3 for the pair. So if you're struggling to hit that $3 grand mark for your choices, then I would strongly recommend the Adams, and you could probably get a deal on them, you know. Ultimately, the only reason I'm getting rid of mine is because I've upgraded, and I just want to see what the next tier of speaker gets me. I did try out the Amphion 215s, which by the way are brilliant speakers. It's just the voicings for some reason don't quite suit me. I wouldn't say they're boxy, but they've got, you know, slightly boxy leaning. They sort of sound a little bit boxy. to my ears. And what I've done though with the Amphions is I've married them up with the Tantrum Audio Sub, which is a dual opposing 6.5-inch drivers. And the guys at Tantrum have done a great job on this thing. It's absolutely brilliant, but it will work equally as well with the new speakers I'm buying. The Adams, you can use them as are, they've got a really full range. The Adams, to my ears sound really good once they're calibrated. Prior to that, there's a lot of sort of sympathetic resonance with a room at around 100 Hertz, but as soon as I calibrated them, it took care of it. The Adams have got kind of very broad frequency range. They go down to about 32 Hertz and up to around 45 with the Adam tweeter. And to be fair, they sound like really good, nice and clear, good fidelity in the top end, loads of sparkle. You could argue they might be a little bit hyped, but I don't know. It's a difficult call, really. All I can tell you is the mixes I was doing on translated well, and I was fairly happy with them. This upgrade is more of an experiment than anything else to see if I can hit the next level. I just want to nuance the mixing even more and improve it as much as I can. Every 2-3% makes a difference in my opinion. Just trying to stand out from the crowd. Having said that, I know people that mix on headphones. I was speaking to a mate today. He's still using his NS10s and doing the best work he's ever done according to him. And if he's saying that, it's probably a big deal because he really knows his stuff. And he's still a young guy, but he's been mixing a while now and he's done loads of projects. And I trust his judgment because he's got really good mixing taste, for want of a better phrase. And so having expensive speakers isn't the be all and end all. And I wouldn't get too caught up in that. I just want to see where it gets me. I have a feeling I've made a good decision. And I don't know if you can notice from the box, but I think these are upside down, in fact. Also, I'm opening them the wrong way around. Never mind, but I've opted for the ATCs, the SCM25As, and along with the PMCs, they've got a lot of respect from the industry. The ATCs now are like right up there. They've got to be one of the best speakers in the world. I will say this though, I AB'd the PMCs over at KMR Audio, thanks to them. And to my mind, the PMCs, when I first went in there, I thought they would suit me more. And everything online tells you that these are really bass light. You can't really describe them as bass light. They do what they do. And in terms of the bottom end, it was all there. It's just, if you're doing dance music, heavy subsonic information, you're probably not going to hear it. There was a track I tested today, and the real low subs, sort of disappeared a little bit. But I'll say this much: I preferred the sound of the ATCs. And actually, if I'd mixed them on the ATCs, I probably would have got rid of that swelling sub information, because the track I'm working on was a pop song with sub frequencies, But I can understand why maybe dance DJs, but loads of dance music's made on these speakers. They're perfectly fit for purpose. And with the Tantrum Audio sub, I have a feeling they might work quite well. That little Tantrum Audio goes down to about 28 Hertz. It's a closed box, it's super efficient. Yes, it won't be an ATC sub, but I can tell you for free, it won't sound bad. It's going to give me enough bass end extension to be able to hear what I need to beyond these. When I listened today, the mixes I've done thus far that I heard on them all sounded great. I could hear the bass, but what I did notice about them was the bass was so clear and defined and punchy and just there. It was just really cool. People say these are kind of like neutral and they disappear. I actually think they sound pretty. The mid-range on these is ridiculous. You've only got to go on the internet to know that. It's just ridiculous. It's so good. The PMCs felt to me, you could tell they're a DSP based speaker, to my mind. I could be wrong. And I would say,
you'd be happy with these or the PMCs. It's more a case of what suits you. And these spoke to me more. Anyway, see if I can get them out. They're super heavy. I watched a video on how you open the box, and apparently you have to flip it on its side and then flip it over again. 2 people have to lift it up. I'm not doing any of that, so I'm just going to get the thing out and see how we go. I think there was an instruction on how to do it, so I'll leave that on there for now. One of the issues I've got is that this very nice cloth that they put on the PMCs is going to get completely destroyed by my rather itty carpet. So apparently you turn them on their sides, this is how I've been told, and then hold that back, and then I'm going to turn it over again. If I'm not mistaken, that's the bottom or the top, one or the other. And then we're going to flip it one more time, flip it like it's hot, and then simply lift. See, even I can do that. Let's check what's in the box. So obviously a kettle lead and this rather neat little bung for the ports. I'm a big fan of bunging up portholes. I really do think it tightens up the speakers. I'm going to definitely try that. I'll use it au natural to start with. Now, this could be a challenge. I've got to be super careful what I do. Because I've opened them from the underside, they are now the right way up, amazingly. My speaker stands, let me just get behind here, see if you can see them. So these speaker stands, where are they? Here-ish, you can just about make them out. They are pretty robust. I would definitely recommend some heavy duty speaker stands. I mean, mine are pretty heavy duty. They'll probably hold around 50-60 kg. I'm not entirely sure how heavy the ATCs are, but they're definitely around the 20 kg mark, or they're definitely not light, let's put it that way. So I'm going to attempt to open this thing up now. Just got to be careful with the drivers and make sure I don't stick my finger in them. That would be a very bad start. Not sure if you can actually see this, let me just double check. Okay, it appears they are upside down. I think, yeah. I'm gonna have to deal with that as and when I come to it. Let's see if you can see the box clearly. Oh yeah, you can just about make it out. Am I still rolling? Yes. So I'm just filming this on my phone. It's just a quick one. I've got no idea how I'm going to do this safely. If anyone's watching, for warranty purposes, look away now. I've just got to establish the top and the bottom. Let's get rid of this phone. A handy little porthole there. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's just see which way the tweet is sitting. As I understand it, tweet is at the top and in on the ATCs. And since this port is on this side, I'm assuming this one is the right one, providing, oh, I could be wrong, let me check. Might be the left one. About to find out. So this is the left one, so it's ported out that way, ports at the top. So what I'll do is very carefully bring this on its base and lift up this. As I said, my carpet has got loads of dirt on the thing. Look, already. I've got a little mini hoover up. I'm doing it quickly. Oh, got so much junk in the studio. So, that one. one of the issues I have is that my pucks aren't that heavy duty. I don't know if they're going to be able to bear the weight of the speakers. I'm praying they do. Otherwise this could be a very interesting video. I just want to check the plastic's not on the underside so I can pull it off afterwards. And then let's have a go at lifting the step. It's pretty heavy, but it's totally handleable. Move quick. Okay, not bad. My back didn't go at least. The legs were squared up. And we'll pull the plastic off later. Okay, let's get the second one open, and I mean, it's a bit boring for you guys and unboxing, so I'll just do a quick time lapse. Okay, I've switched over to the DJI. Cool, it's quite a tight shot, isn't it? Okay, the moment of plastic truth. Here we go. Check it out. Oh! So at this point, I pull the tweeter out of its thing. There you go. Okay, a nice little look. Bit of lighting, here we go. Fancy. What I noticed is quite cool is that the ports at the side, which can be bunged up of course. Let's have a look. Where's the bung? There you go. There's the bung. So if you want to, you can bung up your speaker like so, and that should tighten up your speaker, and sort of not really an enclosed unit, but it will definitely help, especially if you've got any sort of weird bass frequencies. What I've noticed is that mine is pointing towards my first reflection, which is quite cool. Hoping that will help. I need to get some bass traps into this corner at some point. Or both corners for that matter, so watch this space. I'm going to sort that out. I guess it will be the GIK acoustics, a couple of general ones, and then I think I'm going to get around 2 for now and see how we go. There's the other one. Are you ready for the reveal? Here we go. Oh, it's like peeling off a plaster after a week. Only no hairs. Oh, that was terrible camera work. I'm so sorry. Here you go. So it looks like, so it looks like the blue thing came off on the other one as I pulled it off. No idea how you're supposed to take it off. There you go. Oh, very satisfying. And then what happened to the other blue thing? Must have fallen off. It'll be around somewhere. Just came off with the plastic. It'll show up. What I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. Yes, I'm just going to quickly do a little one of these again. Here we go. Oh, very nice. Get a good look at the tweeter. And there's your mid-driver. If anyone's seen any of the making of these speakers, this thing here, it's sort of attached in 2 places so that the port fires nice and straight forward. And also the magnets on the back of these things are absolutely ridiculous. I've noticed it attracts rather a lot of dust, but I have a remedy for that. My trusty Hoover. There we go. See that there on the port? Little bits of fibre. And obviously you don't want to be poking this thing around, but it's pretty robust. You can touch it very gently, you know. This has got a little brush on the end, and yeah, I'm pretty sure once they fire up, any dust will be
pinged off in no time. Phew guys, quick update. I very gently just put a little bit of pressure on the side and out it popped. Thank God for that. That was a worry. Obviously I haven't got a clue. I'm sure if I rang KMM, they could have probably sorted it out. So they are round again now. Maybe I caught it. Doesn't seem to be out of shape in any way. The light's hitting in a certain way. On the camera it looks like it might be, but to my eyes there's no indentations at all. It's nice and round now. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that's not a problem. Oh God, crap myself. Right, I'm excited. Here we go. It's just work in progress for me, this track. And again, you're only hearing it through a phone speaker, so you're not really going to get an idea, but it's more about my reaction. Oh, let's do this. Sounds so good. So my room's booming a little bit around 100 hertz, and I'm aware of that, but I can hear past that. I've got so much bass information. I'm not sure what the settings are on the back, so I'm going to check it. It could be bass boosted, you see. I'm going to have to burn them in anyway. No idea if you can hear me, by the way. Okay, so on just that first kind of listen, so I'm just trying to flip my screen around, but I've got no idea where the flip button is now on this iPhone. Oh dear, how am I supposed to turn the thing around? No idea. I think it's been hidden now on the new one. Oh, I think I got a feeling. Anyway. They're sounding really good. I mean, I'm hearing so much more detail. And at low levels, what I've noticed is, you know, there's more bass end than I was expecting on these things. But I suspect that's got something to do with the room. Let's have a little listen. I can have a wee listen in the corners. By the way, let me see if I can turn the screen around. No idea. Okay, so I'm not hearing any build-up in these corners. And I put my head in here. I suspect it could be slightly under the desk. Not too much. It's not too bad. Let's have a listen in this corner. Really hearing build-ups in the corners, so as I move around the room, yeah, it's not bad, not bad. When I calibrate the room and have a little listen on Room EQ Wizard or SonarWorks, I'm just going to get an idea what's happening. I have a feeling that 100 hertz, you know, is raised by a few dB, maybe 5 or 6. I don't think it's going to take too much to treat it. I mean, I've got first reflections. I've got some stuff behind there. Those corners aren't booming, weirdly. Not weirdly, I was expecting to hear more bass end build up. There's diffusion here, and obviously there's still lots of hard surfaces. In terms of the rears, I need to ping the room and then walk around here where it's building up if there's any. It's not a big problem. I think a couple of bass traps will sort it out, especially if they're tuned to around 100 hertz. I think that will tighten up this room nicely, and in the meantime I can use these bungs
So that's quite cool. That will tighten them up if I need to. That was a fairly subby song. Let's have a look. What else have we got here? You keep looking at speakers. It sounds ridiculous. I cannot turn the, sorry, that's my hand. I cannot turn the camera around on my iPhone. No clue what I'm doing. Literally, there's no button there. I suspect it's thingy. I'm just going to play that kind of, let's check this one out. Half a range, ready for Vox. Okay, this is an instrumental. So immediately I'm hearing the bass is really tight, and these aren't even burned in yet, so only going to get better. And the string keyboards feel a lot more forward. Yeah, that's really interesting. Going to kick the sub in down here just to see what happens. Okay, cool. So at the moment the sub's not tuned in with the speakers. I've literally just got it, I think I've got it at full range. It's crossing over at 90 hertz. So there's some crossover between the two, and that'll obviously build up that 100 hertz problem. So, but in terms of the bass extension, that sub's going down to around 28 hertz. And I'm not hearing a massive difference. It feels like these at low levels, I'm hearing what I imagine to be down to around 35 hertz. And that's just a guess based on experience in this room. They're supposed to roll off at around, I think it's 45 at -3 dB. Don't quote me on that. And obviously if you push them, then, you know, maybe even as high as 50 hertz. But they don't feel, to my mind, lacking in that much bass. Obviously, compared to something like a PSI or a, you know, even the PMCs, they'll have more sub information for sure. But these are tighter. They sound really tight. It's really hard to judge at the moment though, because I've literally just switched them on, and I'm going to leave them on overnight and play some music continually through them. Start burning them in. I don't know what the actual burn-in time is on these ATCs. Let's see if I can ask Google. One hand typing, here we go. What's the burn-in time on ATC SCM25A speakers? Question mark. Is Mr. Google gonna just gonna break them in any old way? I'll stick them on and leave them on overnight, and then do that for a few nights in a row. Excuse the fingers. Anyway, guys, look, I'll find this info out. I'm going to whack it on the video. I need to work it out. I'm just too tired. It's getting late now. I'm going to go home. But thanks for watching this little bit. And it was just a quick update because I was excited. The Amphions that I bought last week, unfortunately, are going. They're sitting there, as are my Adams. I like them both. It was just an itch that I needed to scratch when it comes to this speaker. The Amphions, I thought perhaps would have been the ones, but there's just something in the voicing that doesn't sit quite well with me. I really like them and I got used to them, and I did a mix or two on them. Probably should have given them even more time. I think with the Amphions you have to give them lots of time, but you end up adjusting to them. But for me, they're just a little bit too boxy, and I find with the ATCs, I'm not feeling that at all. I think it's purely to do with speaker driver size, and I actually think had I got the Amphion to 18s, maybe that would have been my thought process. If I was to advise anyone on buying Amphions, it would be, if you like them, buy them. You know, there's nothing wrong with the speaker. It's a great speaker. It's so efficient, really punchy. But maybe on first impressions, the 18s didn't do much for me, but I have a feeling the 18s might have been a better choice. I could be wrong. I just found the 15s to be punchier, and my initial impression of that was, oh, it's doing something in the bottom end, you know. The 18s are more neutral. They sort of disappear more, a bit like the ATCs, but I think because of the 15s and because of my inexperience with this kind of thing, the voicing did something. And I would say this though, the 215s are great speakers. If you want a nice kind of Nearfield monitor, they're really punchy, they're really efficient, really. So don't, you know, if you're out there and you own a pair of 215s, don't necessarily sell them. It was just, for me, the voicing of them and the sound of them didn't quite suit me, which is weird. I've never really had that before. You either like speakers or you don't. I don't dislike them. I just don't think they're a good fit for me, you know. I'm happy with this setup with the Angry Boxes. I think these two together. The only thing is though, with all the mid information there, these Angry Boxes I'll still use just for a narrow field. What I may end up doing is using just one in mono, just to give me the top to bottom mix, you know. So let's say I've got, I don't know, lower mids and vocals and pianos. I can separate this way, and then that way when I go back to a stereo image, I'm hoping I've made some room in the actual spectrum, is that the right word? So I can find their frequencies in that mono. They might work well like that, but I can still mono them as a stereo pair, if you see what I mean. Because on the Nero, I've just got a simple mono button. And then the good thing about this Nero, why I like it a lot, it's just really versatile. But also you can, if you press the polarity and the mono at the same time, it will just give you your sides, which is great if you just want to listen to what's going on the sides. It's really good for the money. Yes, it's DSP based. You know, now that I've got ATCs, I might have to think about maybe a natural aspirated, a sort of, maybe a sort of a non DSP based thing. I don't know if it's a mistake to be using that. But right now I'm not going to get too caught up on that, you know. I'll burn them in, have a listen. Again, with speakers, you've really got to use them in situ. It's really hard to make a judgment call straight away. So far though, I mean, first day, they sound amazing. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. You know, I'm so happy. Right, I'll catch you later. I'm gone. Bye YouTube land. Bye.